Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know exams are just around the corner and the tension is building up, but don't you worry at all. We are going to make this chapter super simple for you. And today's story, it's just incredible. It's about a brilliant invention that completely changed the world for millions and millions of people. So let's jump right in.
So, I want you to travel back in time with me, all the way to a small town in France. And picture this. There's a little boy, just 3 years old. His name is Louis Braille. And he's happily playing around in his papa's workshop. His father was a blacksmith, you see, so there were all kinds of tools lying around. It was just a normal, happy day for a little boy. But then, in just a moment, something terrible happened. What started as play, it turned into a tragedy. A sharp tool accidentally hurt one of his eyes, and the injury was really bad. An infection started, and it quickly spread to his other eye as well. And just like that, poor little Louis was left completely blind. Now, this horrible accident was the start of a massive challenge for him. But you know what? It was also the beginning of an incredible journey. So let's explore this first part of his life. Even though he couldn't see, Louis was a super smart boy, incredibly bright. So when he turned 10, he got a fantastic opportunity, a chance to study at the Royal Institute for Blind Youth in Paris. Wow, this was a really big deal, his big chance to learn and grow. But at this new school, Louis ran into a huge problem. The books. Reading was so difficult. And this frustration, well, it sparked an idea that would change everything. Which brings us to our next part, an idea in the dark.
Can you even imagine trying to read like this? Before Braille, the ways for blind people to read were, well, they were terrible. They had to feel letters that were carved on pieces of wood or made from cloth, or even pins stuck into a cushion. It was so clumsy and slow. Just to read one page could take hours. So frustrating.
Then, a French army captain came up with something called night writing. The idea was for soldiers to read messages in the dark using raised dots. A clever idea, right? But there was a big problem. It used both dots and dashes, and it was just way too complicated. Nobody could learn it quickly. So, yeah, it wasn't a success at all.
But here is where the story gets really interesting. What the army thought was a failure, a young teenage boy saw as a spark of genius. And this is where everything changes, leading to a brilliant idea that changed the world. So Louis heard about this night writing, and he was fascinated. He knew the idea of using dots was absolutely brilliant, but the way it was done was just too complex. And he got this one thought stuck in his head. I can make this better. I can make this simpler. And he worked for years and years to perfect it.
You know, there's a beautiful line in your textbook that says it all. Thus, a blind person taught the world to see. Just think about that for a second. It's so powerful. Out of his own personal struggle, he gave the gift of reading, the gift of independence to millions of people. Just amazing.
So what exactly did Louis create? What is Braille? Let's get into the details and understand the pure genius behind this simple system of 6 dots. Very simply, Braille is a way of reading and writing by touching. That's it. Instead of using your eyes to see letters, you use your fingertips to feel little patterns of raised dots. And these patterns represent all the different letters and numbers. And the entire magic of Braille is based on this simple thing, a 6-dot cell. Look here, every single letter and number is made by raising different combinations of dots inside this cell. It's like a code. By changing which dots are up and which are down, you can create the whole alphabet. So elegant and so powerful. Here's a fun fact for you. Have you ever seen a Braille book? They are much thicker than our regular printed books. Any idea why? Well, it's because those little raised dots need space. Your fingertips have to be able to feel each letter clearly, so you can't just squeeze them all together. That means fewer words on each page, and so you need a lot more pages.
Okay, everybody. Attention, please. Exam mode is on. Let's do a super quick revision. I'm going to cover a couple of questions that are very important for your exams, so pay close attention now.
All right, first question. This is a very popular one. Why was night writing not a success? We just talked about it. What was the big problem with that system? Think for a second.
And here's the perfect answer for your exam. 2 simple points. First, it used a confusing mix of both dots and dashes. And second, because of this mix, it was just too difficult and complicated to learn and use quickly. See? Simple.
That's all you need to write.
Okay, next question. And this one is the big one, the heart of the chapter. What did Louis Braille do to make reading easier for the blind? This is really his main contribution, isn't it?
The answer is all about one word: simplification. Louis Braille was a genius at making things simple. So, 3 points. 1. He took the good idea of using raised dots from night writing. 2. He made it much simpler by using only a 6-dot cell and getting rid of all the confusing dashes. And 3. He used this simple system to create a complete, logical alphabet. That was his true genius. And there you have it, the amazing story of how a personal tragedy, a huge problem, led to an invention that changed the entire world. Louis Braille's passion and his hard work gave the gift of literacy to millions, and now you have a perfect understanding of this very important chapter. And before we end, I want to leave you with one final thought. This isn't a question for your exams. This is a question for your heart. This story teaches us so much about empathy and kindness. So think about it. If you have a classmate or a friend who has trouble with their vision, how can you help them? It could be something really small. What are some simple acts of kindness you could do? Let me know your ideas in the comments. I would love to read them. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious. Bye-bye.